Hi, and welcome in. This is Nina's Apollo, a place we talk about personality typing with spiritual understanding. This week, I'm going to be talking about 3 ways to stay true to yourself during the holidays. The holidays are starting next week. We're going into Thanksgiving. And, it's a time we get so crazy, right? But first, before I'm going to go into this, I want to thank somebody. Look at this shirt, you guys. Best shirt ever. It says, Best Dog Mom Ever. Can you see that? I don't want to stand up because I just set everything up. But I want to thank my friend, Trixie Daniels. She is such a generous soul. She always thinks of me. She always invites me to her parties. And, I'm kind of a hermit, an extroverted hermit, which is kind of an oxymoron to begin with. But she's just a sweet soul. And I wanted to say thank you to her for being so kind and giving me this t-shirt. I totally love it. And it's purple, like one of my favorite colors. Anyhow. Enough of that, but thank you, Trixie. Love, love, love you. So what we're talking about is trying to stay true to your true self during the holiday season. And like I said, we get so crazy during the holidays. Like Thanksgiving's coming up, and we tend to seek a perfection, and we've been conditioned into all this stuff. And I talk about this a lot, like how we're so conditioned in society. It's this hustle, it's this bustle. And then the day after Thanksgiving, it's Black Friday. So go out and shop and buy thoughtless gifts. Not saying you all buy thoughtless gifts, but I'm saying, how many gifts can you think of that you've gotten that have really meant something to you? I can get like 5, maybe 10. And most of them were handmade. Like, this is a thoughtful gift. Because I was just talking about, I like to wear cool t-shirts when I'm on doing my videos and so forth. So it's thoughtful. But so many of us, to get our to-do list done, we just rush through this stuff, right? It's like, oh my God, we got to do this, we got to do that. I'm not saying we all do it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's been what we've been conditioned to do in our society. So I want us to kind of step back and start looking at things differently. So let's put the hum down on the hustle and bustle, all the shopping, all the perfection, traveling from one place to other to make everybody else happy, and you're pleasing everybody, and you're putting yourself in the back seat. So at the end of all the holidays, how many people say, like, I can't wait till the holidays forever, they're such a hassle. Wow. To me, that's so sad. To me, that is so sad. The holidays, to me, okay, and again, like everything I say here, take what you want, leave the rest. But the holidays for me are a very intentional time for reflection and for thinking about, as the year starts to come to a close, we again kind of have these celebrations to take a look at, right? Thanksgiving, it isn't just about sitting down and stuffing yourself into a food coma. It's just not. I don't believe it to be. I believe it's time we need to reflect and give thanks to Mother Nature. Have you ever thought about the bounty that Mother Nature gives us every single day? Excuse me. Just even the sacred water that we drink. The water that we are drinking, which I don't know about you, but in the United States, it's pretty messed up now, unfortunately. But my point is, though, it's sacred. Water is sacred. It's been here since the beginning of time. It has taken many shapes and many forms because water does that. But how many of you even say thank you for the water coming out of your spigot? Spigot, is that the right word? Out of your faucet, whatever you want to call it. How many of you are grateful to the feast that's sitting in front of you? Or are we just rushing it down to go watch a football game? Or rushing it down because we got to get to the next thing and we have to have the doors and the dessert and blah, blah. I know my mom used to say all the time, she goes, it's taking me a whole full day to make this, and in 20 minutes you're all off from the table. And honestly, that wasn't very respectful to her. Love you, Mom. She's in heaven, so she knows I love her. But if you think about that, so And another thing I think is so interesting is that all of these celebrations, right, they come at a time when you lose a lot of sunlight. So there's more darkness in the day than there is sunlight. And I believe these celebrations are here to show you how to illuminate the light from within. So just kind of a rethink this, right? So what if we started thinking this is a time for reflection and a time to go in and ignite that spark of light that's within me and start really working on that. Start thinking about that. Start putting love into all your dishes that you're cooking. What's the intention behind what you're doing? Is it just slapping food on the table to get it done so you can go do something else, or just to do your to-do list? Or is it a tradition, or is it a past memory that you're trying to bring back to life? What's the tradition? So that's one of the things I talk about. I'm talking about 3 ways to get back to yourself. So what's your intention behind it? Where's the heart center behind it? Are you cooking with love? Just love the intention. I don't know, it's something to think about. I don't think we think about that. I think we're just so busy trying to get things done. We forget ourselves in the hustle and the bustle and the to-do lists. I'd like to bring you back to your heart center, to love, to what this is all about, giving love to Mother Nature. Really giving love to Mother Nature and being grateful for the bounty that she gives us every single day. And look what's happening to her every single day. I know it was in the travel industry, and it's horrific. So we use and abuse her, right? I'm not saying all of us do, but we all do play a role. We all play a role. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. I can be much better at what I do. So I want you to think about, sorry about that, I dropped my shoe. I want you to think about what you're grateful for. And when you sit down at Thanksgiving, even before, when you go to the store, are you grateful that you can go to the store and buy whatever you need? That's a gift. It's a blessing. So I need you to start sending, I'd like you to start I'd like you to start setting intentions behind this and not just rush through the season to get it off your to-do list to get into the new year. Let's set some intentions. What are your intentions? And I put in here, let me grab my computer real quick, hold on. Because I put in this blog, there's 3 really good books, and I know you've heard of them before. But they're not, why I like these books, one's A Course in Miracles. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a tough book to get through. I pick it up, put it down, pick it up again, because it's bite-sized. What you get out of there, it's so profound. So that's a good one. A Year in Miracles, A Daily Devotion by Marianne Williamson is another good one. And then A Course of Love is a really good one too. I almost like it better than A Course in Miracles, but come on, we have different personalities. I talk about this all the time. So the different personalities, let me adjust my camera a little bit, guys. Sorry. I have this on a little thing and it's kind of going a little loopy on me. Thanks for putting up with all my crazy. But A Course of Love is a really good one too. And the nice thing about all of these is you can take little bite-sized pieces. Why don't you start doing that now? Why not? This is a perfect time to do that because you start centering yourself and all the chaos and all the mayhem, right? All the mayhem, that's the right way to say that. But you start centering yourself. You start bringing yourself to your heart center. It's a good thing to do getting into the holidays. And I talk about using an Advent calendar. And if you're religious, use it from that standpoint. But I'm also saying use an Advent calendar to kind of start bringing in Christ consciousness. Yes, the Advent calendar actually, and I'm reading here, means arrival or coming. The holidays are arriving and they're coming. You know, this was an arrival in the biblical sense of Jesus, but why can't it be an arrival for your Christ consciousness? Why not? You have that spark of divine in you. You are a part of God. God is a part of you. I want you to slow down and start really chewing on this and recognizing how magnificent and how powerful you really are. And the way to do that is to kind of get your spirituality in line with your personality. This is what I'm all about. Your spirituality, your sixth sense, has to guide your fifth sense for you truly to come into your true self, your higher self, to really find yourself, to recognize and realize the real you. You're like an original masterpiece. No one else is like you. So let's maybe look at the holidays as a time to start centering, and I kind of use the Advent calendar as a way to start ushering in Christ consciousness. And that's why I gave you those books, because you can start taking those little slices of wisdom out of these books, because there's a lot of wisdom in these books. Start getting you and elevating you to that Christ consciousness, which is important. It keeps you centered. It keeps you grounded. You start stepping away from all the chaos and the hustle. You start figuring out what's really important. It's not the gift giving. It's not the plates of food in front of you. It's about the people that are in front of you. It's about how you want to show up in the world. Who do you want to be in the world? Do you want to be that part of the frenzy and the hustle and bustle? Hey, if that's what you want to do, cool. That's part of your soul path. Go do. If that's bringing you stress and exhaustion, maybe that's not what you want to do. So I'm asking you to look at that. Set an intention. Heart-centered intention. And then maybe use a tool like an Advent calendar. I suggest you start this ritual. Why wait to New Year's Eve? Who's making up all this crap? This is when you have to do this. Oh, come on. Do it when you're ready. And you might not be ready right now. The holidays might not be ready for another routine, but I'm telling you, if you take this one little step, it takes like 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. Get up 5 or 10 more minutes earlier and start reading in the morning. This is one of my practices that I have instituted since my 7-year life tsunami. I do not start my day without reading my spiritual books, taking a walk, doing my workout, and then probably reading a little bit more. That's what I do every single morning. And if it gets disrupted, my day is kind of off. This is what's so cool about this. When you start getting into that divine creativity, right? It's the creative divine that's in you. It's so cool. It helps you start seeing your truth. And when you stand in your truth, you know what's so cool? Is you kind of have this extra mojo behind you, this extra power, this extra strength and courage, because no one can take your truth away from you. Lies crumble. Lies aren't created, right? They're deceiving. They're fear-based. When you stand on your truth, that's coming from your creative self. That's divine creating within you, speaking your truth through you, through your personality, through those 5 senses, right? When you're lying to yourself, or you're creating a false self, or you're in fear, that's not creativity. That comes from the external world, right? And you're absorbing that energy, that low vibing energy. And so when you're getting stressed and crazed out in holiday, that's all coming from the external world. So what I'm telling you, if you start putting yourself into this beautiful divine creativity, this divine intelligence, this spark of divine within you, you'll center yourself. It's 5 minutes in the morning. You got 5 minutes. I know you have 5 minutes. I know you do. What's it going to hurt to try? Nothing, right? Nothing. So anyway, I'm just saying. Um, and what I also talk about in the blog is like how obligations keep you from straying from your true self. So let's just say you do want to start this 5-minute morning routine. 5 minutes. You take out your book, you pick the book that resonates with you, or pick any book. I don't care. Pick any book on the planet that centers you, that attracts you. We're all different. But you start that routine and then an obligation comes in. Oh, you have to do this, get this, and this. Okay, well, this year maybe you don't have to put 20 different dishes on the table for Thanksgiving. Maybe you've set your intention after reading your book that you're like, every year we waste so much food. We don't need to be doing that. You become conscious of that. You become aware of that fact. I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to do like 5 of our favorite things, and that's what I'm going to serve for Thanksgiving. So, oh my God, look at from 20 to 5. You've already freed up a hell of a lot of time. So you can do your 5 minutes. Or you might like, I really want to be a little bit healthier this year. We could all be a little bit healthier. We're all in this middle of this thing. I don't even want to go there because I don't want to give it any energy. So, we should all be being healthy. So maybe you want to have more of a healthy Thanksgiving. So you plan that instead of going through all this, all the pies and all the cakes, maybe you do just cut up a delicious fruit bowl. Look at that, saves you time too. And you're doing something that you intended to do that's good for everybody, including yourself. I know, right? So there's different ways to go about that. So some of the obligations that you think you have to meet, you don't really. The choice is yours. Set your intentions. It starts erasing some of these obligations of the hustle, of the drive, of doing for the sake of doing. Are you even thinking why you're doing these things anymore? Or has it just become so robotic that you just do it for the sake of doing it? What pleasure are you getting from it? What joy is it bringing you? Is it bringing joy to others? Or are you so stressed out that people don't even want to be around you? Oh, I know. Look at mom. She's crazy. My mom used to do that. I've done it to my son. We all do it. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. We're all human beings. Well, so we do things that aren't perfect. But once you're aware, you have to embrace it and recognize it and hopefully awake into it. If you don't awake too, that's cool too. Like I said, we're all on our different soul paths. Every one of us has a purpose and a spark within us that drives that purpose. So whatever you choose is where you are. That's fine. But once you know, hopefully that awakens you and you choose differently. So back to your obligations. Who are the obligations for? Do they bring you joy? If they don't, you need to start rethinking them. Okay? And there's certain personality types that are very traditional. They're not going to step away from this stuff. But on the other hand, they could go from like 20 dishes to 5 dishes. Right? So, and some personality types like mine, I'm not, tradition is kind of cool. And I like to do it for my son. But like, I don't do everything traditionally. So, it's just different for everybody. But I'm asking you to bring to yourself joy. Come from a heart-centered, intentional place during the holidays, right? You need to do that. Sorry, I have hair in my nose. And then another thing I talk about is during the holidays. This is hard. I just went to a party. Again, Trixie's. She's so generous. I was at Trixie's party. And actually, there was really cool people there. She always just invites, we always just have the best time. She always invites people that are just all these different people, which I love. And, we get to know them. But, that's different from being at a holiday party where there's a lot of family. And you know how things go at holiday parties sometimes. So, I've been to holiday parties, especially when I was married and had to go to the in-laws and so forth. And it got to be a little difficult because there was a lot of gossiping. I'm sorry, this is like hairs bothering me. There's a lot of gossiping. And before I went through what I went through in my 7-year life, so I was gossiping. Like, I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, why did she say that? Oh, and you get into this drama spin, right? You just spin out into this, unhealthy, low vibrational energy, which is very uncharacteristic to you. So a lot of people do. A lot of people step into that. I'm telling you, I'm giving you 3 ways to step away from that. Like, if people are gossiping and so forth, and you're trying to really stay centered, you've read your books, your spiritual books, and you're like, I love myself enough that I want to be in the world, high vibe and energy. I want to have a love energy. I want to be around people. I want to lift people up because I want to be lifted up as well. Because when, what they say, when one person's aligned, they're more powerful than a million that aren't. So be the aligned person in the room and lift everybody up. So if somebody's gossiping, you could just politely excuse yourself, or you could say, somebody was talking about behind my back and it was so hurtful. So I don't participate anymore in gossip, So I'm just going to step away from this conversation and just walk away. It is not easy being true to yourself. It is powerful because there's a lot of freedom in it. The thing when you walk away politely, don't be, an ass and just go, I'm better than you now because I know. No. Be polite. Just say, I don't want to participate in that. I don't like gossip. It's a low vibe and energy. I'm trying to be high vibe and energy. But when you walk away from that, you leave the low energy behind you. I know. It doesn't seep into you because you've chosen not to do so. And I think that's why you stand in your truth, it becomes so powerful because you just keep on building this high vibe and energy, high vibe and energy, high vibe and energy. And it just grows more and more and more. And it becomes more powerful. And you become more powerful. You become more impactful. You become so much more fun to be around. People are just attracted to you like a magnet. They want to be around you. They want what you have. They want your high vibe and energy. So I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. And I've lost a lot of friends over this. But I don't want to go back to being in that low energy anymore. I just can't have it in my life. I'm not going to accept it. It's not who I am anymore. I don't want it to be. Do I crash and burn? Absolutely. Do I recover quicker? Absolutely. Do I recognize my bad habits? Absolutely. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying when you start knowing this, like you start having these little insights, it's like, oh, this is so cool. So the next thing is too, it kind of follows the same thing, but when somebody's rude, like I was over a neighbor's, and she really wasn't being rude, but she kind of was. We were talking, and she commented about somebody's eating habits. Well, she gobbles her food down. I'm like, and the other person was like kind of taken aback, like, oh my God, why are they sharing this? It's kind of like, it was kind of out of the blue. And I just said, well, we all have different things. And I said, I had so many days as a waitress, if I didn't eat my food when it came up, served, I'd come back from waiting on a table, it'd be gone. That's just the world of waitressing. It was like, oh, whose food is this? Oh, I want the potato. I want this. And it was just gone. So I learned to eat fast too. I try to change that habit. I still work on things. But, it was kind of like, I kind of just, put myself in that position too, because we've all been in similar positions, And so sometimes it's best just to, again, politely excuse yourself and go, oh, well, I've done that too. Who's perfect? And kind of like bounce that energy back to them. You're bouncing that low vibe and energy back to them because you're high vibe and energy. It's bouncing off you. Now, if you participate, it seeps into you and it brings you down. And that's why people get so exhausted over the holidays. Get stressed out because all this energy, because Because look at the spiral and hustle, bustle, do this, cook, do shop, all this, it's all this stuff that's being pushed at you. I want you to push it, take the energy, set it aside, focus on yourself. And even when you're with people, they want to push that energy on you, push it right back. Say, no thanks, not into it. And this kind of goes down to what I was saying before. When you're being criticized or belittled, I've been at, house parties and even family get-togethers. Like, what is that? Did you make that? I was like, yeah. And I'm not I do cook, but, I'm not grand at it because I'm an ENTP. I never follow a recipe. I never know how it's going to come out. I don't pay real a lot of attention. I'm getting better. My son was like, Mom, that was good. What'd you mix in? I go, I don't know. I just threw what I had in the thing and threw it in. But sometimes my things are a flop. So I'll admit it, But when somebody's standing around and they're in a circle of people and they happen to say to you, what is that? Ew, that doesn't look good. You're like, how does that make you feel? Right? It's like, you just, bombed me with negative energy. It's like, what? And you feel like going, like, what the hell? What that is, typically, somebody that needs attention, whether it's negative attention, obviously it's negative attention. So you don't want to feed that intention at all. You want to kind of bounce that back and go, oh, well, I tried. It's not easy, I'm saying, because a lot of times I am biting my tongue. But I've learned, and I'm still learning, and I will always be learning, that it's best to send the energy back. And how many times, I think everybody's been in a situation like that. Whether it's like, oh, what, are you wearing that? Or what'd you do to your hair? Or a million things. Did you put your makeup on? Or like whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's always some, belittling remark. Sometimes I don't think people really mean it. I just think they're so, either they're unhappy with themselves, they're in fear, they don't like themselves, they're not looking at themselves, they're certainly not going inner, because if they knew that inner spark was in them, they would never, ever do that, because they realized how beautiful they are. You're a part of God. Doesn't get much better than that. I don't care how you show up in the world. I'm a part of God, you're a part of God. We're all beautiful. We are all beautiful souls. And we're going to emanate that beauty, that love, that joy, that awareness. So spewing out, that kind of a comment is not coming from that spark. I'm telling you, it's coming from fear. It's coming from an unhappiness. They're stuck in that external world, So, and this is another reason you can look at the intention behind what they're saying. Where is that coming from? Don't take it in, bounce it back. What's their intention? I don't know. Do they need attention? Do they not like themselves? Do you often hear them responding negatively or positively? And just sit back and observe. Because if they're observing like that, if you observe that externally, they're beating the shit out of themselves. They're talking negatively to themselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I need to do this. I need to lose some weight. Or I need this. Or I need a new car because everyone thinks I'm a loser. I need new clothes. Whatever their fear sing-song is. Just notice it. Become an observer of it. And you'll see, this has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. And honestly, we take it on a lot of the time. We take it in. I'm telling you, throw it out. Bounce it back out. That's not your energy. Your energy was a person that showed up with something homemade and you're excited about it because you put love and tension behind it. It took you, what, time to make? It took thought? I know. So that's your energy. So embrace that. That's a lovely, joyful energy. It might not look good, but I bet you when people taste it, like, man, this is so much better than it looks. This is awesome. I just want you to start thinking about things differently. I want you to think about your personality differently. I want you to start waking up to life in a different way. I want you to let your sixth sense, your non-physical self, that divine spark within, that creative force, divine intelligence, the great I, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever you're comfortable with, lead you. Because as it leads you, it expresses through your personality. And the cool thing is, it will never lead you to a place that is not aligned with your personality, because it gifted you your personality. So you get through everything you can get through in life in the most in sync way with who you are. That's why when you start finding the real you, when you start realizing, recognizing, and revitalizing the real you, guess what? Life becomes so much more impactful, so much more joyful. You gain a confidence because you're moving in the world, you're moving and grooving through your truth. I got the truth thing going on. Leave all that other stuff, bounce it back your way, and you'll start attracting people that are in their truth. That's why life gets easier, because now you're vibing with this vibe, right? And your vibe might be here. You attract this person, and then you get there, and then you attract this person, and then you get there. So you keep on vibing higher and higher, and you create the magic and the miracles in the world. So if you want to bring that to the holiday season, the magic and the miracles of who you are, I'm in 10,000%. Don't you want to bring that instead of stress and, oh my God, this is so... Don't you like when I go into crappy mode? I'm like, la, la, la. I make crazy, goofy faces. But it's true. It's true. So that's what's on the blog this week. I know I kind of went long, but I just think it's important that we start focusing. Hold on. Let me log in here real quick. Oh, my computer's just being... Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to forget this. And so what I did is I included in this blog a blog post for extroverts and introverts on how to own your truth. So there's kind of like, I'm telling you, my blog is learning library. It's a learning library. And I did that intentionally. I don't think I did it intentionally. I did it intentionally, but I didn't know I was doing it intentionally because I have that extroverted intuition. So I just kind of start putting pieces together, and then I arrive at the puzzle and go, oh yeah, I knew I was doing that the whole time. I really don't, but I just do it innately. It just comes naturally to me. Anywho, enough about that. But so there's two ways for extroverts and introverts to go back and reread those blogs too about how to own your truth. So that's going to help you too. So I did include that. So I went long, but I think this is important, especially going into the holidays. God, people are already stressed out about all the bullshit that's going on in the world. We don't want to add more to you because, that weakens who you are. I want you coming out strong, Be the magic, be the miracle, be the magnificent you that you are this holiday season. Just relook at things, And if a couple people get mad, have 20 things on the table, who cares? And if you're caring about it that much, you need to let that go. Because you're letting that person write the story of your life. You don't need to do that. You need to write the story of your life. And I can confidently say that because that's what my 7-year life tsunami was. It was a huge kick in the ass wake-up call. When I was in it, oh my God, I was like, why? Why me? Why are you picking me? Oh my God, this is so hard. And it was hard. It was so hard. But now I know why. I'm on the other side of it. So I don't really care. I don't care anymore. People know who I am. I am who I am. So, and I try to be a good person. I try to show up high vibing. I try to be grateful for everything I have. I don't try to be, I work at it, actually. So it's all exciting, you know? It's the soul's role in personality typing. I don't want you to change yourself. I want you to find yourself. I don't want you to change. You're beautiful as you are. I just want you to find yourself, to figure yourself out and be that. You know? You can't create a better you than divine intelligence created. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what anybody says. That I am adamant about. You cannot create yourself any better than divine intelligence already created you to be. You're here on a mission. Your soul has a mission. Your personality is here to support your mission. But you better lead by divine intention. It's just the way it works. I know. I found out the hard way. 7 years. I figured it out. I don't want you to wait 7 years. I want to help you. I want to help you process this. And there's logical steps. That's what my book's going to be about. There's 7 solutions. Do you see how I did that? Tricky. Anyhow, enough about that. I can't wait to get my book out. It's going to be, for me, it's going to be very exciting. It's like birthing a child. I swear it's been a long time coming. But I really feel these solutions are going to be so helpful in a time when so many of us are in crisis. But for now, going through the holidays, I want you to be intentional. I want you to start like a 5-minute in the morning practice. You can do it. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. Right? When you show up at these holiday parties, I want you to stay true to yourself. When those negative energies, those negative things, the gossip, the belittling, the judging, the criticizing, they start coming at you, throw them back. They're not yours to own. Okay, I'm going to say it again. I always do. When you come into alignment, your spirituality and your personality come into alignment, you're going to be more powerful than a million who aren't in alignment. I want this for you because we need to start birthing this. All right, we need to start changing the reality, the landscape of what we're living in, because it's a shit show. We just need to do it. Now's the time. And you can do it. If I can do it, crazy me can do it, you can do it. I know you can. I love you all. I thank you. If you think somebody would like to hear this and this is going to be a good message for them, please share it. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have links for my blog in the description box. And of course, if you have any questions, if you want to ask a question, I'm here. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. Like I said, my blog is a major library. It's a learning library portal. And of course, you signing up for my emails, you're going to start getting things. You're going to have front row seats to everything I'm doing. So I welcome you. I appreciate you. I want the best for you. I want you to start moving and grooving through your divinely inspired self. I know I'm being crazy today. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bye for now.